This is the notes on the lesson 7, weather predictions. We're going to go over how predictions happen nowadays and kind of what happened in the past. So, starting, people used to use barometers to predict the weather. So you'd have a barometer. Barometers were great because you could say, oh, the pressure is increasing or the pressure is decreasing. What they would do with the barometers is notice if it were rising or falling. If the barometer was rising, the temperature is decreasing, the humidity is decreasing, it'll be cool with clear skies. But if the barometer is going down or falling, the temperature is increasing, the humidity is increasing, and clouds are forming and storms might be coming. So people would look at their barometers and just get a sense of the weather. This was the first type of weather prediction. Moving on. Okay. Today, we use powerful computers to analyze wind, temperature, and pressure. These are some pictures of those computers. Just computers stacked on top of each other. And all those computers working together can analyze all of this data that we have coming in. So, inside of those computers, we have created what are called models. Now, the models take the data we have, all the measurements we have, all the wind, temperature, all that stuff, and these models predict what's going to happen in the future. Okay? So, models are used to predict what will happen. The more the models agree, the more likely they are to be true. And we're going to see a picture of this here in a second. So we're going to take a look at this. The more the models agree. So, for example, a hurricane, which is really easy to help show on a map. Okay. Here are different models of a hurricane. So, here's a model right here that says, oh, it's going to wing out here into the Atlantic Ocean. Here's a different model that says it's going to zoom in here, but then veer out and go up the coast. Here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 models that all sort of say it's going to go north and slam into this part of the United States. The most likely path this hurricane, which is probably sitting down here somewhere, is going to take is probably going to go this way. Now, sometimes, maybe one time, it'll go this way and it'll follow this one. And this model will be the only one that's right. But more often than not, where the models group up is where it wants to go. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean this model is always going to be wrong. Maybe this model has been right every time up until now. Maybe this model right here was the most accurate one up until today. But it's probably not going to go where this one's saying. But you don't know which one's going to be right, so we just show them all and we say, all right, we think it's going to go this way. So the storm will likely follow the middle path. So we're going to take a look at what you're doing on the homework really quickly, because this shows you one of the models that we're talking about. Okay, this is a weather model, and this is what forecasters use to help figure out what our weather is going to be like here in Minnesota in a few days. Okay, so this is running. We have different choices of models up here. Okay, and you'll see they're a little different, but most of the time they agree. Okay, right now I just clicked on the 300 millibar. So 300 millibar is a low pressure. What this means is we're at the 300 millibar part of the atmosphere. So we're way up high in the atmosphere. Okay, and this is what the jet stream is doing right now. Okay, so this is kind of showing us what that jet stream, which is going around the Earth, usually somewhere near us, is doing. And at this moment, it looks like, for the moment, it's pulling warm air up, but soon it might be pushing cold air down towards us. Okay. So here, this is showing you the jet stream. This would be moving down in the atmosphere, so just below the jet stream. Okay, so the winds are moving in a similar direction, but not quite as fast. Here's a little bit lower. Here's even a little bit lower yet. Finally, this last button here, SL pressure or precipitation, this is showing surface pressures and if there's going to be any precipitation in your area. So for us, for the next little while anyway, it looks okay. At the very end of this model, it looks like we get something rolling in here. So play around with this. If you have questions, make sure you ask. The last thing I will show you is this. This is the first link in your homework. This is a stationary map of what's going on in the United States right now. So this is kind of like a right now. Next forecast is 12 hours from now. If you click on that, it'll show a map of what we think it'll look like in 12 hours. This goes, so here's 12 hours from now. Minnesota's still pretty clear. There's some cold fronts headed our way. Those cold fronts are getting closer. 24 hours from now. 36 hours from now, they're starting to hit in Minnesota. 48 hours from now, there's some precipitation here in North Dakota. That cold front's not moving very quickly anymore. And we're still clear. So this is an easier way to get a handle on what exactly is going to be happening in the United States over the next 24 or 48 hours. I hope this helps. That is all.